Ah,
Good morning. It is Mental Toughness Monday, and we are excited to have all of you here. And we are going to start with our Essential Emotions book. We're on Calmer. Calmer is a blend from the kids kit, and it's a restful blend. It has a soothing influence on the heart and the mind. It consoles individuals when they're feeling out of control, worried, or overwhelmed. This blend is also beneficial when an individual is feeling overstimulated and has trouble quieting the mind and restoring inner harmony. Trying to do too much in life or fit too much in each day is disquieting to the delicate inner workings of most individuals. Calmer is stabilizing, reassuring when the frenetic pace of life disturbs one's center. Here you go, babe. We need some too. We were just talking about my dad used to call it putting 50 pounds of crap in a 25-pound bag. Like that's right. That's our lives. I feel calm already. It's working. Just feeling calmer already. Calmer blend gently encourages individuals to look for patterns of imbalance that may be playing out in their lives and to choose to realign with their intuition and heart knowing. It reminds that while there are many good things that one can choose to spend their time on, there are actually very few that will bring lasting happiness, peace, and purpose. They can choose each new day to slow down and check within to discover what it is that they should embrace and what they should let go of. On the deepest level, Calmer invites individuals to trust in the divine, trust, let's see, invites individuals to trust in the divine will trying to manifest in their lives. It helps in feeling connected to and supported by divine beings of light. Calmer speaks softly. It's comforting, core message. Everything is going to be okay. And my dog started wagging her tail right then. So I hope you didn't hear all that.
I'm glad she's feeling calmer.
Yes, she is like, everything's going to be okay. She's got her tail going, so we're good. Okay, you can inhale from the bottle, you can diffuse, you can put it in your hand, rub, inhale. You can put it over your heart, on your forehead, or on the back of your neck, or all of them. And it has lavender, cananga, Buddha wood, Roman chamomile, and it addresses upset, worried, overscheduled, overwhelmed, imbalanced, frenetic, and chaotic. And the positive properties that it brings are calm, reassured, restful, relaxed, realigned, or aligned, and peaceful. Who doesn't want calmer in their life? That's
Hey,
amazing.
do we have a color on that label or is it when
It's
we make
purple.
up
It's
purple?
purple.
Oh,
Okay.
it shows up blue on your camera.
Yeah, it looks blue on my camera, but it is purple.
Is it in the kids kit? I think I gave away all my
Yes.
kids kit
Yes,
stuff.
it's a kids kit.
I had a
Why? You have kids at
for
your house all
something.
the time. You should
I know, but
definitely
I
kids kit.
had a grandbaby that needed it. Aha!
Yep.
Oh, wait, maybe I still have one. Maybe I had one open and I had one not open. That's what happened.
There you go. See, you probably had two kids kits.
I just haven't put this
I did
associated
the
with all
same
my
thing.
other.
And you can buy them. You don't have to get them in the kids kit only. You can buy them individually now. So if you need to replace one that you gave away, then feel free
Oh,
to grab
we
that.
must have used that one up because that's not in here. That's terrible.
Any thoughts of about Calmer? Anybody want to share
They're
or
calling it
experience?
restful blend for kids on their little booklet.
Yep,
What's the
it's
difference between
restful blend.
calmer and console?
Oh,
Great question.
con-
Console is, I mean, it smells a little different, but I think it's let's look at the different ingredients in Console. I would think it would be quite similar. Console has frankincense resin, patchouli leaf, ylang ylang, labdanum twig, amorous bark, sandalwood, rose flower, and osmanthus. It doesn't have any of the same ones.
Interesting. It's probably formulated better for kids,
it's
maybe.
The
called restful blend on the on this tag.
Oh.
Yeah.
I always think of console as something for grieving loss.
Mhm. It showed up. Yay!
Balance? No, I don't think so, because it's got
Would be Serenity? Serenity Park?
maybe closer to
Yeah,
Serenity, because it does have
Yeah.
lavender, but then it has Kananga, Buddha wood, and Roman chamomile, and Serenity has Roman chamomile and lavender.
I'm gonna have to like put them side by side and compare them.
I
Yes.
smell a little serenity in this
It
one.
is, it's a more gentle, that's why they made the kids kits, is in some cases they used oils that did similar things but didn't have as strong of a scent or had a more gentle effect. Kids do tend to respond super well and very, very quickly to essential oils. And so, plus they diluted this, so it's really easy to
It's
run.
very safe for children. Oh, I have a young woman in my ward who her and her husband have almost two sets of twins. Like the oldest one's 3.5, and they have 4 kids. And
Yep.
the little ones are just so sweet. They're so sweet, and the big ones are running away from the house nowadays. I just think, oh no.
I think you're going to be hard pressed to hang on to your Calmer, Mom. All right. Any other thoughts on Calmer, restful blends, or experiences that you want to share?
Mom, you shared that you gave one away to a grandchild. What was that about? What did you use for
I
and why?
didn't give it. Oh, I just gave the bundle away because I had one that was getting like 3 years old, and I thought, you know what, I'm never going to sell this. And I
Oh, so
just,
you didn't,
it
you
was a
weren't
new
using it
package.
for
It was a
that.
birthday gift for a baby that was long waited for.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Sounds good.
All right, let's move on to our mental toughness. 177 secrets, mental toughness secrets of the world class. We are on number 74. Champions don't care who gets the credit. So here we go. Here's a quote from Peter Drucker. He's a consultant. He says, knowledge is power, which is why people who had it in the past often tried to make a secret of it. In post-capitalism, power comes from transmitting information to make it productive, not from having it. There you go. Average performers believe information is the key to whatever success they've had, and they tend to hoard it for fear of losing their power. Champions are different. Champions know that information is everywhere. The secret is taking action on the information and developing competence. Middle-class performers are stuck in the mindset that knowledge is power, when the truth is that intelligent use of that knowledge is and always has been the seat of true power. Pros are information sharing conduits for their organizations because they are working from a spirit driven instead of ego based mindset. Who gets the credit makes no difference. Amateurs are afraid that if they don't get credit often enough, they'll be forced out of their companies. Every decision to share information is carefully considered by amateurs. The pros operate from abundance. Fear is the last thing on their minds. Creating dynamic, positive feedback loops is an ongoing mission for the champions. In their roles as leaders, they have driven fear out of their organizations. People are encouraged to challenge ideas and information for the good of the organization. The great ones know if sharing too much information ever costs them their position, they are always in demand in the marketplace. The pros will always share information and credit and will always be able to write their own ticket. Okay, what do you think? Champions don't care who
This
gets the credit.
I like this. It's confidence in the individual. It's confidence that you can make things better. And I've heard this amazing story about a guy that wouldn't hire somebody that wouldn't correct something, and he cut one leg off a chair a little shorter. So it was a really wobbly chair. And there was another chair in the room. And if the person didn't stand up for himself and say, you know, I'd really like to switch chairs, do you mind? He wouldn't hire him. He wouldn't hire him. He thought it was just such a blatant aggravation that anyone with any common sense would probably ask for a different chair.
That is funny.
I thought it was actually a really good test of person's self-confidence and their willingness to help out, solve a problem.
Right.
I think what they're mean, what I get out of this thing is that as a leader, you probably have the ability to take credit for anything your team does, but a good leader will always put the praise down, push it down to the individuals to make them feel like they're part of the team and they feel like they have a purpose. And I know that's and work we do that with the thing called Motivasi. You actually go and you have $5 to give away every month. And so you go out and you give the even though I've led my team and we got a Rex quarter done, I don't want the credit for it. I'm going to give it to the guy who actually did the work on it, and it really makes my guys feel good. It helps them to want to take one for the team, and work together.
I love it.
Mhm. Well, I like the statement, champions know that information is everywhere. Oh my gosh, how many systems out there are there to choose from? You can choose your personality, you can choose what resonates with you. And then I love that these diamonds are sharing their information. It says pros are information sharing conduits for their organization.
Yes. Yes, I'm super grateful too.
And that's one thing that I was going to share too, is that I love that in doTERRA we are like a sharing information sharing culture. That's something that's been developed in doTERRA. One thing that I heard said that I think it resonated with me, especially being a teacher, is that it's it's always wonderful to hear kind words from someone. And so if you're working with a leader on your team who's really trying to grow and trying to make a difference, they need the kind words, yes, but they also need constructive feedback, stuff that's actually
Yes.
going to help them. Not mean feedback, like you're doing this wrong, but this is what you can do better. So if you're like picking three things of like, I loved that you did this way, this is three things that maybe you want to try to make a difference or to improve. So, and I think that same thing, if you've ever taken a class, the teachers that you appreciate and learn so much from are the ones who have learned how to give the best feedback.
Hmm. Hmm. I love that. Or I think about that with music lessons or sporting, coaching. Like there's lots of places where having the support of learning how to do it properly. Maybe you're holding it wrong, maybe you're holding your hand wrong, maybe you're sitting wrong at the piano, maybe like whatever, but the teachers or the coaches are like, here, do it like this, just helping you to see that. I remember being in Prague with Elise Chedevi, and I was sitting in the room, and she was training, and someone asked a question about something about how the responses that they were getting in their classes. And she said, tell me what you're saying. Like, tell me exactly like what do you say at that point?" And so she said it to her, and I remember Elise very matter of factly saying, "No, no, you're doing it wrong." And I remember just feeling like, oh, I would die if it was me that she was talking to. But the more I have grown in doTERRA and in my just like general confidence of whatever, I realized that she said it again. She was like, "No, no, no, you're doing it wrong. Let me show you how to do it." And then she showed it to her, and the girl was just like, "Oh." And it became very, very clear to her that there were some words that she was inserting that was creating this subconscious need for, I think it had to do with studies actually, because she would always say, or maybe this was a different story, but she said that someone would always say, "We've done studies," and she goes off on this whole thing, and she's like, "Why doesn't anybody just enroll?" "Well, they all want copies of the studies." And she's like, "Well, stop talking about the studies. Just tell them, what the stuff does, and share the other things." Now, there are going to be some people who are going to say, have these been studied? Are there studies that I can read? But address those individually instead of making the whole class be like, "I've got to read the study." Like, who even wants to read a study? I know that there are people who do, but the majority of people who are coming to our classes, they wouldn't even know what it said. In the end, they would read the abstract and maybe get something out of it, but studies are not easy to read.
No, and I insert one more thought on that.
Yes.
I heard Dr. Riggs say, um, not one of the scientists who are at doTERRA came to doTERRA because they read a study. They
Right.
all had an experience with the oils that they wanted to understand better because it changed them. They felt something. And I think that that speaks volumes about, again, getting people opportunities to experience something with the oils, particularly if it's something that can address a need that they have.
Right. Yes, I love that. And I think that just speaks to that same thing of like people make decisions with their hearts. They don't make they back it up later with their head, but they make decisions with their hearts. They feel something, they know it's the right direction to go, and then they might start second guessing themselves later, so they still need the logic, but they won't make the decision based on logic. They will make the decision based on feeling. So that's really, really excellent. All right. Any other thoughts for our action steps? Oh, Mary says, this is so helpful to hear. I have been doing it wrong. Go, Mary. It's so much easier when you tell yourself, right?
Well, and two, I think part of it is how much doTERRA focuses on the studies.
Yeah,
Like in my mind, when we go, but I can see now the way that you said that, that's like after people have had the experience. Then you can say, and there's like research on this.
yes.
So it's like, oh, cool. Okay.
I love it. I love it. Thank you.
Is there an extra step for this one?
Mhm.
What was it?
Our action step for today is rate your willingness to share information for the good of the organization on a scale of 1 to 7, 7 being the most willing. If you score less than a 5, you may be operating primarily from an ego-based consciousness rooted in fear. Make a commitment to shift your thinking toward your more spirit self. There you go. And I know that we are on our team, we are very, very blessed by leaders who are willing to share with teams besides their own. So very good. All right. That's it for this morning. We are so quick, right? So thank you for joining us. If you're catching the replay, please comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts as well. And we will see you again next week.